What's up, everybody? Chad here for yet another Taco Tuesday, and today we are talking about a fun little accessory that I just recently purchased for the Tacoma. Now, again, I'm going to repeat that word, accessory. It is nothing huge. It is not going to completely change the truck. It is purely something fun, something that I've been kind of thinking about for a little while, fairly inexpensive, and thought, you know, why not? It's going to give me some new perspective on different parts of the truck that I wasn't previously able to read, so I'm going to show it to you real quick now. So what I have here is the Ultra Gauge MX, and I can't tell you how cool it is to have a little gauge that I can actually enter in codes for that show my torque converter temperature and my transmission pan temperature. So as you can see, there is a bit of a differential there. I did just back the truck into the driveway here in its parking space, and that obviously is going to come from that, well, the temperature difference is because the torque converter is only going to be slipping in reverse. It does not really lock up at all. So obviously when your torque converter is slipping more, it is going to create some more heat, and there's always going to be a little bit of a differential. However, what I have noticed on the highway is that when your torque converter is locked up and you're just cruising along, those temperatures tend to be identical, and as you sit here in park or neutral, those temperatures will start to even out, and then your pan and torque converter should even out. And obviously there's also the engine temperature fluctuating a little bit. That's coolant, obviously. I have it set to have engine RPM estimated, horsepower, that's the 4.6, 4.7 number you were seeing there just a moment, and then of course engine load percentage. So that is pretty cool stuff, and obviously there are lots of other things that I can do with this and have it set up certain ways, but I will show you some clips here of me driving on the highway here shortly, and I will tell you the difference about them as well. So in the clips that you did just see, obviously there was a bit of a difference there in the temperatures, and obviously as they were marked there in the clip, there is a difference, obviously, because I have the transmission thermostat pinned, and if you do want to check out that video, I did do a whole setup on that. You can catch that link in the description below, but I wanted to really see what the difference in temperatures were, and that was one of the big things that spawned me wanting to get this Ultra Gauge, because those are temperatures that you obviously cannot get a gauge for or anything in the TFT display in the Tacoma. And I thought, you know, those are some pretty important vitals to keep an eye on, and really getting an Ultra Gauge was rather inexpensive, all things considered, so I decided to just pick one of those up and have them sent over to me. Took all of about 3 days for Ultra Gauge to get one out to me, and that also was set up in such a way you can kind of click through some pre-programmed settings for them. So I had them pre-programmed and set it up for a 3rd Gen Tacoma, and they have it set up where it's the 3rd Gen Tacoma and the Tundra all in one. You can pretty much click on that and have them pre-program it and set it up for that. So when it comes out of the box, it's already got a lot of the factory ones already taken care of. The only two that I did have to add in were the torque converter temperature and the transmission pan temperature, which you do have to go through and actually click on the different codes for and set up the numbers. And it took me a little bit to figure out, but I finally got it set up, and I'm pretty happy with it, all things considered. It's a really nice thing to have here for the truck, kind of more of a trinket than anything, but again, the main reason that I wanted to get that is because those are some pretty important things that you don't really get to see. And also for the engine coolant, you know, you get the little needle, and so long as it doesn't go past the middle, you know, you're pretty much good. But I thought it would always be interesting to see the actual temperature, and those are things that I can also see through my let me get it out here, my tuning laptop that I have here for the Orange Virus tune, but I don't really have the desire to have my laptop, you know, always sitting out and my eyes going straight to it to look for it, but it's just easy to have that really set up and plugged into your OBD2, and as soon as you turn the truck on, it shows you all the vitals and how you have it set up. So it's a really useful little tool. You can also clear codes on your truck with it if you need to. So if this is something that you do want and you're interested in, obviously I'll leave the link to it below, but you're definitely going to want to at least get the MX model, because those are the ones where you can actually put in the codes for these specific factory settings or gauges that you can't actually view without having this, because Toyota does not provide that, like I said, anywhere in the display, and I don't believe they even have that on the Tundras, which is some other one, you know, another vehicle that you would definitely want to have that on, because you're going to be doing some heavier duty towing with that versus the Tacoma, which, you know, it's something that I've done with the truck a little bit, but it's still something I was really interested in, seeing those temperatures. I'm just one of those people that likes to see what's going on with the truck, and that's one of those kind of cool gauges that you can get, and it doesn't look too non-OEM. I mean, it's obviously, you know, a bit of an older piece of technology, but the Ultra Gauge is something that I thought was kind of cool to pick up. So if you guys are interested in that, obviously I'll leave it below. And if you have any ideas of somewhere else I can mount it, I've been curious if that's something I can move over to the side. And also, I'm still trying to figure out the cord situation. It's currently kind of running up the very lower part of the dash over in front of the shifter, and then runs up and right by the center dash here. So kind of trying to figure that out. I've only had it a couple days and I've been playing around with it, so just kind of getting used to it and having it set up. So if you guys have any comments or suggestions about that, you know where to leave those. And of course, thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.